People are always coming up, or they're coming up to the officers at a funeral and thanking them. They think it's a real tribute to their loved one being escorted to the cemetery by the police.
The professional officers who do this on a daily basis with funeral homes around the city, some of them bring in a lot of money and supplement their income.
We've always felt like this is, a huge safety risk.
Well, that is reaction coming in to a new policy being adopted by Oklahoma City Police to end police officers' ability to conduct funeral escorts through our city. We brought you this story earlier this week.
Now we are talking to Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gourley about the department's decision to stop those funeral escorts. Here's Lisa Monahan.
Every week, we chat with Oklahoma City Police Chief Wade Gourley about issues facing our city. And this week, we're talking about the new policy change for Oklahoma City police officers to no longer conduct those funeral processions we've seen in the past. Can you tell us what led to this decision?
These procession or escorts that were being done by our motorcycle officers. They were being done as an off-duty, extra type of duty, and oftentimes it was pulling them away from their regularly assigned duties. They would take comp time, vacation time, and go run these escorts, and they were paid by the funeral home for doing those as an extra duty job. What we also had that happened, besides the fact it was pulling them away from their duties of what we needed them to focus on, but also we had several officers over the years. It's a very dangerous thing to do. We had several of our motor officers that had gone down and had crashes as a result of that. And so it was just, it had come a time where the risk kind of outweighed the reward for doing that.
We know that the OKC FOP says that officers believe that continuing this service is a right of officers. It helps them out financially and sometimes bringing in up to $20,000 of additional income. I think the big question for those officers would be, is there a chance of this ever returning, ever coming back to where they'll be able to do that again? So
what we've done is, and understand too, we checked with other major cities, even Tulsa right up the road from us. They don't do these as well because they are dangerous. And again, you're talking about an extra duty assignment. You're not talking about an on-duty assignment. And there's nothing really that guarantees anyone the right to have an extra duty assignment and profit from that, especially using, city equipment. And so, so that's where we looked at this from that standpoint. But the biggest thing is safety. And what we've told, and I've spoken with funeral directors as well, is that, we're going in line with other major cities around the country. And then also, we will still do escorts if there's a large funeral, dignitary, or it's just a funeral that is maybe going to have a large procession. We will still do those. They can make a request, but now we'll have a traffic plan. We'll have others involved so that we're not doing the the high-speed stuff with the motorcycles. That won't be necessary anymore. And again, we'll have that safety plan to do that. So we're working with those funeral directors to try and ease that a little bit. But for me to argue that it's a financial impact to the officers, again, this is an off-duty job. It's not part of their regular duties, and they're using city equipment, again, to make that money in that off-duty capacity.
And there are some exceptions to the rules. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for the insight this morning, Chief. We appreciate it. If you have a question for the Chief, you can send it over to chatwiththechief@griffin.news, and we'll get you some answers. See you next week.